It's not just a matter of personal intention. It's a matter of how things get socially and politically organized, how the systems are structured, for example. Well, but it still comes down to personal responsibility. How do we work to change the systems? How do we organize ourselves with our white friends and others who really want to see justice? How do we get people to understand that, look, if you really want America to be competitive, you got to face a couple of things. Number one, by the year 2000, what is it, 30 or whatever the date is, this country is going to be primarily people of color. Now, if you want this country to be competitive, and God knows it's not now, when y'all are in a majority, you'd better start looking at ways to change this system so that all of us 20 years down the road or 50 years down the road will be benefiting, not out of malice, not out of some sense of special privilege, but because we love the concept of America and we want to make it reality. We got to find enough folk who are going to reorganize the Board of Education and who are going to insist upon the development of plans for the very location of schools and the location of teachers so that equity prevails. Good teachers in every school, not just in select suburban communities. Good schools in every neighborhood, not just in select communities. If there's going to be busing, then let people who want to bus, but bus for the purpose of getting a good school, not for the obvious purpose of trying to avoid certain folk. If you want to avoid certain folk, okay, take the bus and go to an okay school. But make it impossible for anybody to use our resources to advance the cause of continued racial privilege and disprivilege. Now that can be done. It takes committed and intelligent people who also have some political smarts. We get across to everybody the coming reality that this country will not face the same kind of world it faces now, 25, 50 years from now. And we're going to have to be able to compete with Singapore, which we don't do now, with China, which we don't do now, with certain European countries, which we don't do now. We're nowhere near the top performing country educationally. And those who perform the best education, the data show very clearly, those are going to be the ones where the jobs are going to be moving, and those are going to be the places where the new science and technology is going to be developed and utilized in the most creative ways in order to develop a better world. And they're going to attract the best people. In order to do that, we've got to make certain that all of our people get the best education possible, all of them, for the sake of our country. In my judgment, I learned before I got to Tuskegee that if anybody is going to have respect for you, you've got to have respect for yourself. And if you don't believe you can do competitive work, why should anybody else believe it? Who's interested in a program that's going to help disadvantaged scientists? Folk want real scientists. Can you produce real scientists? Can you do real research? Can you produce competitive results that make a difference? I think my first remark would be, listen, listen, listen. Listen and learn about what the place is. Listen.